What are you, deaf? Don't try that Halloween shit with me.
You are now listening to the voice of horror.
Lock your doors, bolt your windows, and turn off the lights. Make sure the kids are safe at home, cause you're headed to the Night Watch Zone.
Welcome to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are here Tuesday night, and that means it's time to go back to Battle World. Corey Anders with me, of course, and Eric. And guys, tonight it's time to get dirty, down and dirty, man.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm
Big
talking
time.
about. That's right, man. For you guys in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that, as we always do on Tuesday nights. Real quick, blanket hello to everyone. And let's start off with we've got some anniversaries here. We've got
Woo-hoo.
Russell with a 6-month anniversary as a
Oh, very
channel
cool.
member. Thank you so much,
Nice.
Russell.
Yeah.
Saying hello
Rolly
to
winning.
everyone. Thank you so much. All right. Saying hi, Knight and Corey and Killian and Eric and everyone. Happy to be here in this awesome community. My vote is for House of 1,000 Corpses. All right. Okay. We got the mayor, the Bearded
Awesome.
Entertainment, with a channel member anniversary for 15 months, guys. 15
Wow.
months. It's
Woo-hoo.
absolutely crazy. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah.
And what's up? What's up? We got the general in the chat, and oh, it says new member. Oh, she re-upped. Okay. I was about to say, what?
Yeah.
Val's been here longer than anyone. Thank you so much, Val. We appreciate you staying with us. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
And hey, we got Film Gamer X in the chat. What's going on? Good to have you here. Our
Hey.
newest channel member just
Awesome.
joined us the other night
Very cool.
on a late night stream. That was really, really cool. Glad to have you here, and thank you so much
Yeah.
for being a part of the channel membership.
And can I
Really
just
helps
thank
out.
Val again for that wonderful gift of the Predator little statue I got, because I received it and it's awesome. So thank you again, Val. You're
All right.
awesome. You're the best.
She is. What's up to Paula and to Dawson? We got Scott. We've got our good buddy Neon Black Reviews, Neil himself, saying,
Neil
hey,
and the Cats.
that's right, Neil and the Cats. Anytime we got a TCM, you know, Neil's going to be around. What's up, Julie? Good to see you. Hope you're doing
Hey.
all right. We got Brandon in the house. What's up, Brandon? Good to have you here, man. Hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Another one of our channel members. hanging out, saying, let's go. All right. We got Jerry as well. Hey, Jerry, good to have you here tonight, man. All right.
Hey.
Very, very cool. And Eric from the Bearded Entertainment saying, love House of 1,000 Corpses. All right. Well, this should be an interesting situation tonight. Neil also has a channel member anniversary, 6 months, always part of the inner circle. Thank you so much, man. You know we love you. Saying the Sauce family, but the Firefly family wins tonight. Really? Wow, that's interesting. I did not see that coming. Okay.
No, me neither.
You never know what to expect from Battle World, bro.
Yeah.
As we've seen the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, no
Quentin,
kidding.
what's up, Quentin?
Hey.
And Brandon also with a channel member anniversary. Very cool, man. A lot of you guys have the same night of anniversaries. That's cool. Saying appreciate the fire content, guys. House gets my vote. Okay.
All right.
Very cool. DJ, what's going on with you? We got Melissa. We got Ginger Ninja saying, get the chainsaws revving. Okay. You guys are so cute. And the Queen as well. With the channel member.
Nice.
This is crazy. We've got 5 anniversaries on one night. Wow. Very cool. Sarah, thank you so much, as always, for just being awesome. Saying, wow, time flies when you're having fun. I'm so lucky to have found this family. Well, we're lucky that you are part of this family.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, guys. So let's get down to brass tacks. Eric, let's find out who we have in corner number 1 for tonight's matchup in Battle World.
Okay, they always say to stay on the main roads, but that's tough when you're driving through a state as big as Texas. Plus you never know who you're going to meet. You could meet a handsome stranger who looks like he's ready to storm the gates of Mordor. You can meet a survivalist who could probably take on the zombie apocalypse, or you could possibly meet the scariest gas station attendant ever. And if it's the latter that happens and you're able to escape, watch where you're driving because you may run into someone even worse. And if that happens, you may very well end up on their dinner menu. And there's a couple things to remember. There's roadkill all over Texas, and the Saw is family. Hoping to redeem himself from an embarrassing defeat a couple of weeks ago, we have Leatherface and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
All right. Okay. And Coriander, who do we have in the second corner for tonight?
Okay, so talk about a family get-together. The Firefly family is a cut above the rest, pun intended. Don't get stuck in their house unless you want to be perversely entertained by them. Don't investigate legends like Dr. Satan. The results might cause you to have an operational trauma while dressed up in a bunny costume. Best to listen to Captain Spaulding and leave well enough alone and enjoy that complimentary fried chicken. Or else you might become a prisoner in the House of 1,000 Corpses.
All right, there we go. All right, Kill's not here tonight, but I'm going to just throw this commentary down. Neil, you're right. Run, rabbit, run. That's right. This is going to be interesting because I think both of these films have a lot of parallels, but they're also very different. Eric, this was a pick of yours, and I think that it was really, really good because it's kind of out of the box. But I think that both of these films dealing with being in secluded territory and having people find a way to get stuck out there. We're going to have some fun tonight with this matchup. It should be really, really cool. So look, guys, do you hear anything? Do you hear anything?
I hear some chainsaws and maybe a little bit of Brick House playing.
We got Brick House and we got bunny rabbits running. So for you guys in the chat, for you guys watching the replay, sit back, relax as we head into Battle World. You know what time it is.
Boys and girls, children of all ages, you are about to enter a world of darkness.
You're silly for a guy with glasses.
Fight, don't fight.
You and me then, huh? You sick. Come on!
brainless bitch like you know how to use that thing.
Pretty goddamn good, you backwoods motherfucker.
All right.
Very good.
Okay, let's. There's a lot of parallels, right? All right. And also in the chat, DJ, what's going on? Good to see you. Definitely time to tip the mods by giving a positive comment. Well, we appreciate that, man. Seriously, the mods are absolutely awesome.
Mhm.
All
Yeah, they
right. All right. Ginger Ninja saying, this is tough as I watched TCM 3 a lot on VHS back in the 90s, but I've seen House more recently. They're both really enjoyable. Yeah, that's there you
Yeah.
go. There you
Yeah.
go. We definitely like to have some interesting debates for these matchups. Listen, Sarah said, we don't stand a chance against Neil and the Cats tonight.
We'll see.
That's great. That's great.
That's funny.
We got Hollywood guy in the chat. What's going on? Good to
Yeah.
see you. Julie said, I used to always wonder why Leatherface was a different person with a different family in almost every movie. Oh, well, right?
Big family. Those inbred, big.
I'm telling you, man.
Things are bigger in Texas.
Yep,
That's right.
it's crazy, man. Each movie, up until the remake, all these movies were just sequels to the original. Like,
Mhm.
I think TCM was the first like big horror franchise to kind of do multiple timelines. A lot of people they credit Halloween, but TCM, man, it's like every time you'd see a new movie, it was like a restart.
Yeah, it's easier to not think about it. You know what I mean?
It is. It really is. Okay. So you guys know how we do this thing. We're going to give a point to the film that we think deserves it. We're going to go category by category, not based on bias. And if you guys in the chat let us know what point you'd like to give to which film, if you do a super chat, we will make sure that we get to your comment and or question. And you can also give points to the film that you want to win. And plus, it also helps to support the channel. We'd appreciate it. Okay, you guys know how we start this thing, Eric. We're going to start with the poster. The poster. So we have the poster for House of a Thousand Corpses, and we have the poster for Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. Who gets the point?
They both fit the movies well. I like them. I like both of them a lot. I'm gonna go with Leatherface, because of I like the fact that it's the chainsaw front and center, and
Mhm.
Leatherface is in the shadows. And if you look closely, you can kind of see his mask, but it's like half and half. I love how his hair is all red. I love the red font of the title. But
Mhm.
the fact that he's in the background and the saw with the saw his family on it is front and center. That's what's making me really enjoy that one.
Okay. All right. And hey, we got Katie in the chat too. What's going on, Katie? Good to see you.
Hey, Katie.
All right. Coriander, how about you? Who gets the point between the two?
Can you put the other one up?
There you go.
Thank you. I've seen Leatherface enough where I know what he looks like. I think I'm more intrigued by A House of a Thousand Corpses. Dr. Satan. You don't know that that's Dr. Satan, but well, maybe you can assume. But yeah, it's interesting, creepy, and yeah, I like it all. So there you go.
Okay. All right. For me, this is one of the easier openings to an episode ever because I'm easily gonna go with TCM. To me, it's not even close. As a matter of fact, this might be one of the best TCM posters, maybe other than the original. But it's really cool. I love that red backlighting.
Mm-hmm.
And Eric, you said something that I totally agree with. The saw right there. I'll never forget when I first saw this. When we would be renting movies, it just really grabs you, man, because it's right there front and center. It's the saw is family.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I was a little kid, I didn't even really know a lot about TCM, but I knew about the chainsaw, and it just looks so intimidating. And I agree, the red font for the title is great. The title, I think, is great. I love the fact that it's called Leatherface and then the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. So this was as easy of an opening for posters, maybe in the history of Battle World.
Oh wow.
Seriously, like it's not even close. And I'm not saying House of a Thousand Corpses is a bad poster, but it just doesn't really do a lot for me. I mean, we see a house there and we see like a whatever zombie looking person. The font is cool. I do like the font, but that's about it for me. So, okay. Let's see. We got Hollywood guy going with Leatherface for poster. We've got Scott going with Leatherface for the poster. Let's see. Julie saying, gotta go house for the poster. I used to think Leatherface looked like he was at a disco with a bad wig. Here we go. Of course, Julie.
Nice.
All right. Melissa's going with Leatherface. Ginger Ninja going with Leatherface. Let's see. Hunter is going with Leatherface. Paula's going with House of a Thousand Corpses. You go, Paula. You go. And whoa, hey, we're starting this thing off quick. Neil's jumping in saying, what's better than a penny for your thoughts? 2 pennies for every corpse. Voting for House of a Thousand Corpses. Wow. That's crazy. 20 points is going to go to House of a Thousand Corpses. Wow. Wowie, wow. And TCM is his franchise.
Gotta keep them cats happy, man.
I guess.
Aw, those kitties. You gotta love them.
Right, that's right. Neil, seriously though, man, all joking aside, thank you so much. We appreciate you, man, and it's very kind of you to not only do that, to have fun with this episode, which you always do, but also helping us out with the channel. We appreciate that. You know that. Much love to you. So let's do a super chat clip. Eric, sometimes, when you're in front of people, mishaps can happen. And if they do, it might look like this.
Don't worry about your neighbor, because your neighbor ain't worried about you. Oh, hold on. I sing something, y'all. Sing. That's it. They gonna sing something for y'all. Jesus, I thought I had polygrip on these. Y'all sing. How your teeth feel now.
Wow.
Jeez.
Hey, look. When it happened, the look on Eric's face, it's like bro lost his teeth. That was awesome.
I think if he was here, this would have been the night Killian fell out of the chair.
Oh, I know, man. See, listen, I always look. Let me just say something, all seriousness. And you guys know we live stream multiple times a week. But I always feel like with Battle World, we always want to have some fun with this because we just have just an interesting audience that usually joins us, plus all of us on the panel. So I always try to load these things up, to make sure they're ready for a Tuesday night. And this is what you get, so that's awesome.
Thanks, Neil.
Oh, yeah, Neil. Oh, gosh. Okay. Real quick. That was good. Real quick in the chat. Let's see. Brandon's in. There's 2 films titled Leatherface in this franchise. That's right. You are right.
Huh.
And Neil's given us the explanation. TCM 3 is one of my least faves in the franchise. But House of a Thousand Corpses is my favorite Rob Zombie film. Wow. Really?
That's interesting.
I didn't know that. Wow. I did not know that. And thank you, Ginger Ninja. Keeping a lookout on our likes. We've got 25 likes. Let's do it. Definitely. If you have not hit the like button, it helps to support us. Okay. Next category. We're going to go with the taglines, Eric. The taglines. Okay. So here we go. For Leatherface is simply the terror begins the second it starts. And for House of a Thousand Corpses, the most shocking tale of carnage ever seen. Okay, who gets the point?
I'm not a big fan of either one of them. I'll slightly give it to TCM because I kind of like how it's either talking about, the terror begins when it starts, either the film itself or possibly the chainsaw. So that possible double meaning is what's going to give it the point for me.
Yeah, I agree with that because the saw is right there, so the tag is
Mhm.
working with the picture.
Yep.
Okay, Coriander, how about you?
Can you read the one for House of a Thousand Corpses?
You always do that. All right, House of a Thousand Corpses, the most shocking tale of carnage ever seen, and for Leatherface, the terror begins the second it starts.
Oh shit. I mean, like Eric, they're okay. But I'm gonna go with House of a Thousand Corpses. So there you go.
Wow. Okay. All right. For me, I think that both of them are fairly generic, but here's the difference. I think, and you said it too, Eric, the double meaning of leather. I'm going to give this to Leatherface. The double meaning of it, because number one, it's saying that the terror starts or begins the second it starts, right? So as soon as the
Mhm.
terror begins, so that's pretty cool. But the saw, you're looking right at the saw. It's so front and center, and you know that that's what it's really referencing. As soon as that chainsaw starts up,
Mhm.
so it's pretty cool, man. Again, I think the poster and the tag and the image for TCM3 works pretty flawlessly. Like it's really good. It really, really is. Okay. All right. So let me just jump to the chat. Um Brandon. Hey, we got Bronson in the chat. What's going on?
Welcome.
And
Hey,
Hollywood guy is coming in to step up to the
all right.
plate. $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Hollywood guy. We
Nice.
appreciate you. Saying I'm not a fan of Rob Zombie. So here's 10 points for Leatherface. There we go.
That's all right. We'll
10
take it.
points. All right. So
Yeah, wow.
now we're back in the game, possibly.
I
And it,
think
and
we're in the second category. I think Leatherface already almost has more points than he did last time he was on Battle World. So
that's a good point. And of course, what happens if he wins tonight, Eric?
if he wins tonight, he will be at 3 victories, and he will be the number one contender and earn a title shot against
Ooh.
Stephen King.
Ooh, there it is. There it is. Hollywood guy, thank you so much for the super chat. We really appreciate you, man. Let's do another clip. And
Uh-oh.
sometimes you just got to get down and get funky, man. And there's only one guy in Hollywood that can do it the right way. Yeah. There it is. Those never get old. Thank you so much, Hollywood guy. We appreciate you, man. Seriously. Sarah says for the tagline, she's going with House of a Thousand Corpses. All right. Paula going with House.
Nice.
Brandon is
Some of you
going with
ladies
House.
was up here on the panel, man.
Well, I
I'm
mean,
like outnumbered right now.
well, no, there's no bias. We're going category by
I know.
category. Come on, man.
I'm just playing. Come on.
Well, no, there's some people that don't understand that watch. Russell
Uh-oh.
going with Leatherface.
Oh no.
Ginger Ninja going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Hollywood guys going with Leatherface. Scott is going with Leatherface. All right. And we got Super Tenor in the chat. What's up, Super Tenor?
You're welcome.
Good to have you here. Hope you're doing well.
Hey. Yeah.
All right. We got Troy in the chat saying both tags pretty lame. They sound like quote blurbs, but saying he'll go with TCM. Okay. All right. A lot of times tags aren't super creative, in my opinion. All these episodes that we've done, most of the tags aren't like mind-blowing.
Right.
So I will agree with that. Okay, next up, we're going to go with the opening, Eric, with the opening of the film, which of course could be the first couple minutes, could be up to the first 15 minutes. What do you think?
Oh, this is easy street for me. We're going House. I do love in Leatherface the little homage you can tell to Freddy Krueger fixing the glove up. It's Leatherface fixing up his mask. But you can't beat that opening sequence with Sid Haig as Captain Spaulding taking on those two would-be robbers. That's all there is to say. You got the comedy, you got the danger, and it shows that Captain Spaulding is afraid of no man.
Right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
I agree with Eric. The opening to House of a Thousand Corpses it just kind of lets you know what you're getting into. and it's yeah, it was good.
Okay. I agree. I think that the opening, here's the thing with House of we're going to get to this at some point, but the thing about the opening is you think the movie is going to be one thing, and then it changes two more times throughout the movie. That being said, the opening is just gold. It's just Sid Haig was just fantastic.
Yeah.
He has it, especially with this particular character, just that charisma. He has a commanding presence on the screen. So like his dialogue is always spot on. It really doesn't even matter what he says because he's just so good in the role. And being that he was able to reprise it in Devil's Rejects, and of course, he was already ill while they were doing Three from Hell, which was very sad. I really wish that we could have seen him again as this character, because it's absolute gold. It's horror and comedy gold. So but yeah, I'm going with House of a Thousand Corpses.
He's
as
so
well.
good, like, because he shows he's an evil man. He'll take you out no matter what. He says vile things. He says politically incorrect things, disgusting things, but he's so charismatic you can't help but love him. You know what I mean?
Right.
You laugh at what he says.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Scott going with House. We've got Russell going with House. Paula as well. Melissa going with House. Brandon saying Rob always has great opening scenes, even Halloween 2007. All right. Super Tenor going with House. Neil, he got blood all over my best clown suit. Yeah. And Hollywood Guy, absolutely, definitely rest in peace to Sid Haig. No doubt about that at all. And we got Ginger Ninja saying, I love the opening of the TCM 3. It's creepy and gruesome, but the dialogue and House and the brutality of it is done so damn well. So he's going with House. Okay. All right. Well said, man. Well said. Next category, we're going to go with the story, Eric. The overall story. Who gets the point?
Overall, they're pretty much the same. It's people in the wrong place at the wrong time. I'm going to go, however, with House of a Thousand Corpses, because I'm a sucker for, they're in the wrong place at the wrong time, but the fact that these people are looking for local legends and roadside attractions, I'm a sucker for any type of local legend type of story. So that's just what's going to edge it over Leatherface for me.
Okay. All right. How about you, Coriander?
I mean, Leatherface is pretty much the same, and I'm definitely going to go with Rob Zombie. It was something different, and I like this movie. So yeah, I'm gonna go with, Rob Zombie.
Okay. All right. For me, this is tough, and we'll have a category later on that I'll probably be able to explain it a bit better. When we talk about story and having a certain through line from beginning to end, this is really close, even though they're similar films. So that's part of why it makes it close, but also the way that the stories are told. That being said, I'll still have to edge it out to House of a Thousand Corpses, solely on the fact, kind of like what you were saying too, Eric, is the whole idea of this local legend that they were chasing. Now, they kind of fooled us with that a little bit, because I remember the first time I saw this film, I was thinking it was going to go a little bit differently, which was fine. But the idea that they get you so interested and curious about the local legend of Dr. Satan, I think was really, really smart. So I'm going to go with House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay. Real quick, too, let me just jump to the chat and see what we got going on there. Paul is going with House. Let's see. Ginger Ninja saying TCM 3 House is too all over the place. Ginger Ninja, well said.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say for right now. That's all I'm going to say right now. Russell going with House for story. We got Gina in the chat. What's going on, Gina? Good to see you. Neil saying in House they open by going through a murder ride. Then the whole movie is one big murder ride. There you go. There you go. Brandon saying Rob himself has said the movie House is a mess narratively, but I love the Halloween vibes in House more. Yeah,
Mhm.
there was some different stuff going on behind the scenes and the way that the film was edited and cut up. So and you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell. You can tell. Scott's going with House of a Thousand Corpses and Troy as well. All right. We got MAGA in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Okay. Next category. Eric, the scarier threat. The scarier threat. So, as usual, we put ourselves in the situation of the characters. So, obviously, in one predicament, you get
Mhm.
broken down, you're going to the Firefly family, and you're kind of hanging around way too long, in my estimation. In TCM, you get broken down, and you got to run for your life if you can for the rest of the movie. Which is the scarier threat?
Uh, I'm gonna say House is a scarier threat because there's more to it. I mean, you just have in Leatherface, you just have the family. If you can get out of the house, you're pretty much air quotes safe. You're dealing with the Firefly family here, but then if you get put down in that mine shaft, you're dealing with everything that's down there. And then at the end, you find out old Captain Spaulding isn't one to be trusted either. So you don't know where I guess you'd say, the threat ends with House of a Thousand Corpses.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
Oh yeah, I totally feel that a House of a Thousand Corpses is definitely a scarier threat than, Leatherface, who has a knee brace on a clunky one that, slows him down. So he's not as fast in this. So you actually, yeah, I don't think he's as much of a threat in this movie. So
Okay. For me, I'm gonna go with TCM on this one.
Okay.
Because with House of a Thousand Corpses, they put themselves square in that situation. And if they could have escaped the house, especially in the beginning, that's one thing about it. I was like, man, they need to get out of that house. So it's not like Mother Firefly or even Baby are going to be able to catch them. Otis is doing his own thing upstairs. He's kind of out of it until it's time to put on a show.
Mm-hmm.
They wouldn't even have to worry about Dr. Satan and everything underground. But with TCM, they were broke down and they were being hunted. And from what we see in that movie, they are really good at hunting. What did they say? There's like over 50 bodies in that
Mm-hmm.
body site.
Yeah.
So obviously, and when you got Tex and you got Leatherface and the other one, it's like, man, you don't even know where you're at. They're so
Mm-hmm.
far out of it as far as how the movie portrays it. Whereas with the Firefly family, they aren't as far out there. I mean, the cops know exactly where it is. Everybody knows where this supposed local legend is. So I don't feel as though they're as remote. So I'm going to go with TCM. I would not want to be in that situation. All right, real quick. Melissa saying the scarier threat. She's going with TCM. Okay. Russell saying they're both kind of scarier threat, but I'm going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay. Let's see. Gene is saying I've only seen House of a Thousand Corpses, I think. Okay. You got to check out TCM 3.
Yeah, get on Leatherface. That's a good one.
Yeah. Sarah saying I haven't seen House of a Thousand Corpses since high school, but I remember being so grossed out. Never watched it again. I should probably revisit. There you go.
It's a perfect Halloween time movie, Sarah.
Yeah, I think so. I really agree.
And it takes place on Halloween too, so.
Yes. Scott saying Leatherface is scarier. I agree. Much more scarier than Otis or any of the others. Neil saying you pretty much have to run into the Sawyer family to be in danger. The Firefly family will come find you. Well, not so much in this movie though. Well, I don't know. It's kind of interesting how they showed it. I think they were kind of showing it in a way where when they were traveling, they were definitely targeted. But man, you don't travel across the country like that, like these kids were doing. You just don't do that.
They could have been stayed safe if they would have just probably not picked up Baby.
Yeah,
as a hitchhiker.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Once they did that, they were kind of roped in, and they were way too nice about it too, man. Like they could have left that house right from the get-go. Once they got there and got the creepy vibes, they could have gotten out of that house, But yeah, it's interesting how that all went down. Okay. Next category, guys. Next category. Favorite scene, Eric. Favorite scene. What's your
Okay.
favorite scene?
First one that popped into my head, it's House of a Thousand Corpses. It's when the four of them are trying to leave the house and they're attacked by the scarecrows that you find out are Otis and Tiny. I love the look of it, how it's really dark, but there's just enough like light to see through the rain. It's creepy, it's scary. Otis is, he is, a madman, and then that the look he gives when he just takes that oversized head off of, and the way Tiny is throwing around one of the guys, it's and him yelling like a madman on top of the destroyed car.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. It leaves an impression.
Yep. Agreed. How about you, Coriander?
I think mine is from House of a Thousand Corpses.
Wow.
And it's when they're dressed in the bunny costumes and they're going down and you get the music playing and those things grab at them, and you finally actually get to see what Dr. Satan's like all about. So yeah.
All right. For me, it's kind of a toss-up, man, because I love the Captain Spaulding opening. It's just so good, dealing with the bank robbers and even going through the murder ride. It was just so good. And again, Sid Haig, I that could have been the whole movie for me, is him, doing that stuff, because he was so captivating. I felt like I was actually at an amusement park or something. But I will say, almost like what you were saying, Coriander, once they went down underground and you had Denise, who was kind of like just trying to figure out where the hell she was walking around, that was pretty cool. Like you really felt like, where is like a weird version of Wonderland. They had her dressed up kind of like Alice, you know what I mean? So it was kind of like this weird, otherworldly Wonderland area. So I thought that was pretty cool, and it was really good atmosphere. I just wish it wasn't so quick. You know what I mean? It just felt like it was over way before it should have been. But yeah, I'm gonna give the point for House of a Thousand Corpses on that one. Okay, let's see. Next up, the scarier area. So we're gonna put ourselves in the situation as always, Eric. So you're driving around Texas, and obviously you get stuck out in the middle of nowhere like they were, versus in House of a Thousand Corpses, going past, Captain Spaulding, and obviously picking up Baby, and then being stuck out where they were, where the Firefly house was. Who has the scarier area?
I'm gonna go with TCM. The reason why is Captain Spaulding's area isn't scary to me. It's actually kind of neat, to begin with. And then, like you said, once they get to the house, even though that they're waiting on their car to be fixed, they can leave whenever they want. It's just weird. It takes a while to get scary. In Leatherface, you can't even go to a gas station without someone pulling, a gun on you.
Right.
Peeking at your girl. And then as you drive away, you think that this guy is he shoots ticks. You know what I mean? We don't know it's a ploy. And then you have this pickup truck chasing you. Then you're lost in the woods. You know what I mean? So you got that, and then when you wake up in that house, you're nailed to the chair. There's so many more things to be scared for in Leatherface than I think in House. Until the getting gets good, but I'd have to say Leatherface.
Okay, all right, Coriander. How about you?
Yeah, I have to go with TCM on this one.
Wow.
I mean, that pond area was like
all the bodies in there.
Yeah, and when she fell in that water, it's like, oh, girl, close your mouth. It's like, ew, and everything to be stuck out there in the middle of nowhere versus, you're on a main road,
right?
With Spaulding's place. So, hell yeah.
Good point. I have to agree, man. Again, with House of a Thousand Corpses, obviously the house is creepy as hell, but it is somewhere that's pretty accessible. Like even the cops, when they went after to investigate the leads with Walter Goggins and so forth. Basically said, oh, let's go out to that old farmhouse, and it's so it's kind of accessible, obviously, and so was Captain Spaulding's place. With TCM, they have no idea. Again, it was an off road because Tex set them up and said, take this off road. So they could be on the moon for all we know. And like you said, Coriander, which was really well said, that pond area plus the body pit, and that wasn't too far away either. It's like, man,
don't forget the booby traps too.
The booby traps, you're right. Like they were pulling some first blood on us.
Yep.
Yeah. Good point. So yeah, I think it's easily TCM for the scarier area. Okay. Real quick too in the chat. We got Sarah putting in the link for Eric's channel. So don't forget to subscribe. Hit the link and subscribe to Eric's channel. We appreciate it. We also have the link for his channel in the description. We're at 28 likes. Yeah, thank you so much, Sarah. And thank you guys. If you've hit the like button, if you haven't, please do. It helps us out. Scott is going for TCM for the scarier area. Troy is going with TCM, says it feels like the family has its tentacles spread throughout their town. Absolutely. That's a great point, because like we said at that gas station, I mean, that was only the beginning. Yeah. Neil saying TCM3 had some great atmosphere in the woods and the back roads. Absolutely. And Sarah also putting in the link, if you would like to become a channel member, just click the link, or you can hit the join button next to the subscribe button, become a part of the channel membership where we do exclusive watch parties, hangouts, live streams, and so forth. Like we did this past Sunday, which was so much fun when we watched the Amityville Horror. A classic. Yep. Let's see. We got Chris in the chat. What's going on, Chris? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Hey.
Saying, hey, Nightwatch fam. Hope you're all well. For scarier area, I got to go with the middle of Texas, nowhere, being hunted by a cannibal family. That's right. Yeah, no doubt. Okay, next up, Eric. The better tone between these two movies. So basically how the movies play out, the story and its rhythm. So which movie has the better tone?
I'm going with Leatherface. And the reason why is I've kind of mentioned it before. When the story goes all over the place, I'm not a huge fan. And that's kind of what happens with corpses for me. We go from point A to point B to point C with Leatherface. It's super easy to follow.
Right.
Granted, even though I do like the way a lot of it progresses in House, it's just too much. This is going to happen, and then let's do a 180, but then let's do another 180, and then a 360 by the end of the movie type of thing. It's just a little too much to keep that tone. And then a lot of the things Rob throws in there, these little 10-second snippets or vignettes, like you say, some of them work really well, and some of them he never should have added to the movie. So I'm going with Leatherface. All
right. Okay. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to agree with Eric and give it to Leatherface. Yeah.
Okay.
You said it well.
For me, this was almost as easy as the poster category. This has to go to Leatherface because again, it's an even tone throughout the film, and I think I don't even think that can be argued. Now, granted, we know that there was behind the scenes stuff going on with House of a Thousand Corpses, but we can only just judge the movies as they are presented. But you said it really well, Eric. I mean, here's the thing with House. We've got like 3 movies in one. That's basically what we got going on. We've got Spaulding, and then we've got the Firefly family, and then of course we have Dr. Satan. And the 3 aspects of the film kind of mesh together well, but kind of don't. They're kind of jarring a little bit. Now it's the talent of the cast that really keeps it together,
right.
And especially like at the end when you see Captain Spaulding. I remember when I first saw the movie, I was like, wait a minute, what is he doing here? What's his connection? And it was a good stinger, but it was because of how good Sid is. How you doing okay, girl? Oh my God, come on in here, and you're like, oh, she's safe. And then of course you see Otis there. So I think just with tone, you got to give this to Leatherface because it progressed from point A to point B and so forth and so forth. So
Well, there's also, we talk about the behind the scenes problems with House. There was plenty with Leatherface too. The director was hired and fired and then rehired, and the
That's right.
MPAA, cut it all to hell too. So
Yeah. Good point. Good point. And it's funny too because and we also have to remember these movies are well over a decade apart. Leatherface came out in 1990 and House came out in 2003. So the movies of the late 80s and the early 90s, most notably like a lot of the Friday 13th and Nightmares and stuff like that, the MPA was having a ball.
yeah.
I mean, you'd be lucky if you could show any blood in a horror movie because the MPAA was on you like white on rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was
So
bad.
for any of these movies of that time period, if they're good, you got to give them a round of applause because they went through a lot of different cuts. All right, let's see. Neil saying, I think they really tried to recapture the tone of the OG in TCM3. Just came up a bit short. Okay. All right. Let's see. Paula is going with House for the tone. Ooh, okay. Melissa going with TCM for the better tone. Russell going with TCM. Hollywood guy going with TCM. Troy saying tone, gotta go with TCM. House kind of feels like a series of vignettes that they tried to cobble together at times. Yeah, I agree with that. Again, the cast, the strength of the cast and the raw talent of Rob Zombie is what keeps it together. That's the glue. Let's see. Ginger Ninja saying TCM again. I love House, but the tone is all over the place.
Yep.
All right. Russell coming in saying, hey, Night and Gang. What's going on, Russell?
Hey, Russell.
Good to see you. And Neil, you're right. The MPAA is a 4-letter word.
Yep.
It really, really is. That was great. Okay. Let's go. Next category. The most annoying character. Who do you got, Eric?
Oh, this is tough because I don't really find that any of them like too annoying.
I could go.
But honestly, the most annoying character I'm gonna give to we praise her in Halloween, but I'm gonna give it to Baby in House of a Thousand Corpses because I think a lot of her tone is all over the place, and I don't like it when she's a little. I don't know if childlike or childish is the right word. Like she's really good at being seductive. She's really good at being dangerous. But there are a lot of times when she hits that tone switch, I'm just like it's kind of cringy. So if forced to pick, I'm going with Baby.
All right, Coriander. How about you?
It's funny because I was gonna say Baby also when she does that laugh of hers, and
Right.
it's like,
yeah,
and yeah.
Okay. All right, you're going with Baby. To me, I agree. I think that they had Sherry going way too much all over the place. But to me, the most annoying character, I mean, it could be her, but just to be a little bit different from you guys, I'm going with Grandpa. He was just annoying to me. When he did his little thing on stage.
Yeah.
Like, shut up, nerd.
Oh my god.
Jeez. I mean,
I get too. He's a little too loud and obnoxious.
He was so obnoxious, man. Like he didn't really add anything. I mean, Baby definitely could be grating, but at least there were times when her character was good, as far as being underhanded or deadly, like at the end when she chased the girl throughout the graveyard. So, but Grandpa, man, he was so oh my god, he was just so irritating. Every time I watch the movie, I brace myself.
Yeah.
All right.
The whole stand-up routine is really bad.
I was just like, okay, get off the. I wish I could have thrown a tomato. That's what I wish I could have done.
I want to know what Chris Hardwick was smoking, laughing and all that stuff. I don't know.
I know, and that was annoying too. Chris Hardwick was annoying in this movie too.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Whereas on TCM sides, now this is so funny because as opposed to 2 weeks ago, I think everyone on TCM was, they kind of were held in check. I think the family was creepy. Your girl, the little girl from Friday 7,
Yes,
she was
that's right,
creepy.
young
Little
Tina.
Tina. Everybody in the family was pretty much in check. And then of course you have the great Ken Foray. So it's like, I think that they did a good job with the characters there. So, okay, that was a negative category, by the way.
I
So
figured.
just to let you guys know how that goes. Ginger Ninja saying we got 28 likes. Let's get to 30. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Paula saying she's going with Michelle. Really? Wow. Okay.
I can understand the part where she kind of challenges Leatherface to chase her is kind of cringe. So it's just like a couple line delivery. So I can understand that. But compared to Grandpa and Baby, I don't think it's even a thought.
No, it's not even close. Because like I said,
you didn't even need Grandpa.
You really didn't. That's true. You really didn't, because it's like he didn't really bring anything. You know what I'm saying?
There's a couple scenes where he's arguing with Otis when they're watching the Munsters. That's the only time I liked it, and it was more so for Bill threatening him with a knife. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Tell him, don't mess with me.
Right. I agree. Absolutely. But again, Sherry Moon, they had her doing way too much. Man. Okay. Let's see. Chris was going with the gas station attendant. Okay. All right.
See that?
Yeah, I could see that. He was right on the edge. He was right on the edge. Hunter saying, honestly, the Chris Hardwick character from House was annoying. He was, man. Like, even in the trailer, I remember the first time I saw the trailer and they showed, different parts, and when they come out of Captain Spaulding's and he's like, Dr. Satan! I'm like, shut up.
You know what really annoyed me about Chris is, and I like Chris Hardwick. I've been a fan of him since like MTV Singled Out. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But everyone knows that they're in trouble except for him. You know what I mean? They're being forced to wear these masks at dinner, and he's picking its nose and just being a goofy idiot when they know they need to get out of there and they're in for some trouble.
Right. Yeah, I agree. He's just he's so oblivious, man. And it's like, and it kind of sucks because he kind of makes it till the end, kind of, So it's like poor Rainn Wilson couldn't get out of there, man. Real quick, Melissa saying most annoying, all of them in both movies. Oh, Melissa. Jeez. Wow. And Hunter, Eric does have his own channel. We put the link up into the chat, so definitely click that. And it looks like Ginger Ninja put the link in the chat. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. Bud. Definitely subscribe to Eric's channel. Hey, Internet, Eric here. All right. Scott saying I'm with Knight, the grandpa. Yeah. He was just, I can't deal with him at all. I'm sorry. When I knew we were going to have this category, I was like just waiting to like talk about it. Like, I can tell you what mine is real quick.
Yeah.
It's too funny. Russell saying Karen Black, the mother in House of a Thousand Corpses, for annoying character. Wow. Okay, Eric, what do you think of that?
I can see it because again, she's kind of like an older version of Baby. You can tell she's dangerous, but she's too childlike. The way she uses her voice, it's that high pitched, and she, the way she moves her arms, kind of like a fantasy character out of a fairy tale, and it's just a little too much. I think this being Rob's first movie, he had a hard time like telling those actors just chill out a little bit. You know what I mean? You don't have to go so much.
Dial it down a little bit.
Dial it down, yep.
What'd you think about that, Coriander, about Karen Black as Mother Firefly?
I mean, she didn't really bother me, not like Baby did, So yeah.
And it's interesting too, because in Devils, it's Leslie
Easterbrook.
Yeah, Easterbrook, who took over the role.
And
I think her performance, the tone was more even. Of course, we know Rob was more experienced as well, so that could have been part of it. But I enjoyed the way she was portrayed in Devil's Rejects.
Same here.
a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, I preferred Leslie over Karen, which I hate to say because Karen, she's got that horror cred too with Trilogy of Terror and a bunch of other things, but I prefer Leslie.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Neil saying Grandpa was much more quiet in the OG, that's for sure. Yeah, there you go. Brandon saying Grandpa Hugo cracked me up. Okay, all right. And we got Russell saying to Ginger Ninja voted for you for YouTuber of the month for May. All right. Well, hey,
for you.
That's right, man. Ginger Ninja definitely deserves it. And congrats to Gore. He won for April. Yep. So very cool. Awesome stuff. Okay. And by the way, Ginger Ninja in the chat, if you want to put the link to the voting, you can put the link in there. That'd be cool. Hunter saying, I just subscribed to Eric's channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate it.
Yep. Ginger Ninja saying annoying baby fireflies laugh. Nails chalkboard. You go. Right. All right. Troy saying, I have to agree with Night. Grandpa, Dollar Store Ryan Seacrest, Hardwick is a close second. There you go. I like that. That's cool. Mr. Rick is in the chat. What's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Saying the final girl, 1,000 houses with 1,000 corpses, was free and alive and jumped in the car with the guy to send her back to the house. I just shook my head and said, why? Yeah. What a kick in the gut. And that's right. Leslie was in the Police Academy movies. That's right.
Yes, she was.
So we got the link in the chat for YouTuber of the month, and definitely click the link and vote. We'd love to have you vote for our good buddy Ginger Ninja. Totally deserves it.
Well deserved.
More than well deserved. Well deserved. Yep.
Big time.
Oh, okay. Next category, Eric. We want to talk about our favorite character. Other than Leatherface and also the Firefly family, as far as Otis, Spaulding, and Baby.
Ooh. Okay. Well, it's gonna be. I think we're still going with Leatherface.
Okay.
And I'm gonna pick Tex Viggo Mortensen.
Ooh, okay.
And the reason why is because, again, kind of like what I did with my intro, he does show up kind of like this handsome stranger. You think he's a good guy type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I love how he is just perfect, because I'm not going to get into it too much because I don't know if it's a category, but I love the family in Texas Chainsaw. And it's mainly Tex because I love how he can go back and forth between dangerous and kind of, I don't know if submissive or whatever, to like Tinker, you know what I mean? Because he gets mad when Tinker calls him, by his real name. No, call me Tex. I love how he's got like the frilly apron. You know what I mean? This is Viggo Mortensen wearing a frilly apron, and cooking and stuff like that. And I love how psychotic he is when he's fighting Ken Foree. So I think he's got that perfect mixture of air quotes good and bad.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, you don't know what to expect from him because he seems like he's crazy, but he's also calculated, and he showed that in the beginning of the movie because, in a lot of these movies, family members in the TCM universe, they're not that calculated. Like when I first saw this movie, he fooled me. He fooled me. I was like, oh, he's just one of these just drifters or a stranger. I had no idea he was part of the family.
And he's super calculating because he's the one that jumps out of the woods and gets them to run off the road, all injured. So
that's a good point too. Yeah, good point. All right. I'm going to jump in real quick, Coriander, and then we'll get to you. My favorite character, I got to go with Ken Foree, man. He was just he's just so good. Benny. When I saw him show up in this, and he's a survivalist, but he's also a kind person. Like that was like a breath of fresh air, and I don't know if I've ever really seen a character like that in the TCM universe that had the kindness but also had the ability to kind of get down, as far as weaponry and also physicality. And it was just so cool seeing him pop up in this movie. So I definitely got to go with Ken Faree for my favorite character, other than the Firefly family, and of course, with on the other side with Leatherface. Okay, Coriander, how about you? Who's your favorite character?
Really? Like nobody in the family?
Nobody in the family, and not Leatherface.
Shit. Well, that
Wow.
I guess wow.
You're like, wow.
Well, it's hard to choose now because I don't know. So let's give Leatherface a point. There you go.
Well, you can't pick Leatherface.
Oh shit.
Leatherface is out of
Well,
it.
I'm picking a character from that movie.
Okay.
Which
All right.
There you
character?
go. Let's do the floating head in the pond.
What? Come on, man.
What does it matter?
You weren't a fan of Tex or Ken Faree or
Oh, of course. But you
Well,
guys, why be lame and be like, yeah, what
well,
you
you can.
said, or you nah.
Well, no, but
Oh,
that's
shit.
All right.
if that's how you feel, you can.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
She's gonna pick the gas station attendant. There we go.
No,
Okay, there we
no,
go.
no.
Wow. Okay, real quick too in the chat. We got Happy in the chat. What's going on? Saying
Welcome.
hello to everyone. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. And we got Russell. Brandon's going with Spalding, but Spalding isn't in the running. And we got Ginger Ninja saying thanks, but there are other great horror YouTubers there too. Absolutely, man. There's no doubt about that. And that's how it always is for YouTuber of the month.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt, no doubt. Let's see. And Russell saying used to watch young Sid Hay in the 50s and 60s films. Well, there you go. Very
Nice.
cool.
He was
All
around
right.
for a long time.
Yeah, he really was, man. Yep, he was. And Chris saying going with Night on this one, Ken Faree from TCM3. Yeah, he was just really good, man. Yeah,
He always is.
he is, man. Neil's going with Tommy Tolles as George Wydell. He's from my hometown. Hey, look, you know what? And he was really good. I gotta admit, he was so good, even though his role, he's wasn't in the movie that much. But he's such a great character actor, man. I loved him in Night of the Living Dead, 1990. He just has a good presence about him.
Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer as Otis.
There you go. Yes, you're right. You're right. Good call. Cody's in the chat. What's going on, Cody? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Okay, let's go to our next category, Eric. Next category. You knew we were going to get to this. Michelle from TCM3 or Denise from House of a Thousand Corpses, the final girls. Who gets the point as the better final girl?
Well, I guess we're gonna go with Michelle since she actually survives the end of TCM3. So that's it.
Okay.
Denise gets caught by Dr. Satan. She ain't making it out alive. Or if she is, she's not going to be the same.
Yeah, that's a good point too, man. Good point. Coriander, how about you?
Well, obviously, yeah. I guess if you put it that way, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Michelle also.
Okay. All right. I think that this is, well, I'm not saying it's super close, but I do think both of these final girls had obviously some really good moments. And I think Denise, obviously, as the movie went on, and got into like that third act, that's when she kind of, had some more moments. And of course, when she's underground, which of course, when I first saw the movie, I really thought that sequence would have played out a bit longer because, she had some good moments. She obviously was feisty, which you need to be. You can't just give up like the other girl kind of did when she was running away from baby. That being said, she does get caught It was a stinger. It was dirty, low down. Shame on you, Captain Spaulding. Bad clown. On the other hand, you've got Michelle, who, and of course, this is a trope in TCM, or at least in the really good TCM films, where you have the final girl that is just a regular person, bro. She gets put through the ringer and some way, somehow finds courage or guts. Sometimes goes a little nutty because of all the horrible, terrible things that she's seen. And Michelle definitely, embodies that. So I definitely got to go with Michelle on this. I think by the end of the film, man, she was probably as dangerous as anyone in the movie. Ginger Ninja saying Michelle. He's going with Michelle. Kate Hodge screaming, come on, you motherfuckers, gold. Yeah.
Kate was good in Rapid Fire too. Shout out to her in that.
Yes. Good call. That Brandon Lee connection, I love it. Mr. Rick is going with Michelle. Troy is going with Michelle. I think you got to survive to be a real final girl. Otherwise, you're just the final victim. Okay. All right. Okay. We got a couple of categories left. We're getting close to that time. And definitely, if you're still hoping to help one of these movies, now's the time to do it. Next up, Eric.
Sure.
Which family is the more dangerous family by what we see in these two films? Their abilities, what they do, the physicality, and so forth. Who gets the point?
Okay. I'm going to go with the Firefly family. And the reason why is they're dangerous, and they also like to torture you. They like to have fun. You might get a quick death with the Sawyers. Plus, no offense, Grandpa's dead. Mom doesn't seem like she can do much in her case. You know what I mean? With her physical situation. Baby will chase you down and do you dirty. Otis, he likes to have his fun. You can't trust Spaulding, and even Tiny. Tiny is dangerous as hell. He'll throw you around like a rag doll. You know what I mean? So I got to go with the Fireflies.
Okay. All right. Coriander, how about you?
Oh, yeah. I agree with the Firefly family. Not only that, but they have Dr. Satan. They can throw you down their little hole in the earth and bye-bye.
All right. There we are. And Sarah says we're at 33 likes. Let's get it to 40. There we go. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. We got Unstable in the chat. What's going on? Saying I love both movies, but have to go with Leatherface. All right. There you go. And thank you so much for being here. We appreciate that. Ginger Ninja saying there's an alternate ending for TCM 3 where it's hinted that Michelle did not or wasn't going to survive. Okay. All right. I don't know if I've seen that.
It's on the DVD. I don't remember what it does with Michelle, though. I know you see a cop car driving away, and young teen, I guess is what we're calling her from Friday 7, is in the back seat of it as they drive away. But I don't remember what they do with Michelle.
Okay. All right. Rick's going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Russell as well. Paul is going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Let's see. Brandon as well. Neil saying the Firefly family. Captain Spaulding didn't even flinch when he got a gun in his face. Even suggested unsavory acts with the dude's entire family. There you go. And let's see. Troy saying he's going with the Firefly family. Okay. All right. For me, I think that I have to go also with House of a Thousand Corpses. Just purely based on kind of the diversity of what they got going on. They obviously are able to put up this front, but they're so dangerous. You know what I mean? Now that could be said for the TCM family as well, but I think that, Baby is pretty physically capable. Otis is as well. And Tiny, and the other guy, the bigger guy. So, I think they've got a little bit more capability, whereas with, like you were saying, Eric, with the TCM family, You know, the mom's not doing anything, grandpa's not doing anything, Tina's too young, and you
Mhm.
really just got Tex and the other guy and the gas station guy. And of course you got Leatherface as well. But
Mhm.
I just think that the Firefly family is just a little bit more dangerous. So I gotta give it to them, just like you guys. Okay. Um, let's see who else we got. Oh yeah, Rufus. There
Yep.
you go.
RJ.
That's
Yep.
right. Good call, Brandon. Good call. Good call. Okay. Next category, Leatherface or Dr. Satan. Eric, who gets the point?
I'm going Leatherface. I love the Leatherface in this one. And it's
Yeah.
not just because of, following up what we did 2 weeks ago. I've always loved Leatherface in TCM3. Dr. Satan has a cool backstory,
Right.
but that's about it. He's just standing there pinned to the wall or whatever he's doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he's underground. I love the look of Leatherface. I kind of like how he's still kind of childlike, like in the
Mm-hmm.
first movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also not afraid to put up with any bullshit. Like when Tinker throws his Walkman into the stove, he makes him
Yeah.
go get it, and he makes sure he uses the hand that still has flesh on it.
Right.
And I just love how he kind of works with this family. You know what I mean? It's a crazy family, but it's kind of a
Mhm.
air quotes sweet family dynamic, if that
Yes.
makes any sense. The way they were, and I love the leg brace. This is pure like MTV Leatherface for me. So
Yeah, that's
going
a
with
good
him.
point. Well said. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, I guess I'll have to give it to Leatherface because the one we just did, what the hell was it? Where it was,
TCM
Part 4.
yeah, man, wow. That's all I have to say to that, Leatherface. This
All right.
one, yeah, he was good. So there you go.
All right. For me, yeah, we definitely got to go with Leatherface on this. And Eric, you said it best. The thing with Dr. Satan, it's a great backstory. It's a great
Mhm.
concept.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic concept. But like I said, and that's the one thing I have an issue with, which is kind of, as far as the tone, how it was cut up and edited. I just wish that third act, that underground act, wish it could have been at least 10 minutes longer
Mhm.
and give us a little bit more of Dr. Satan as far as, the what's going on, the vibe. You said, like he said, he was kind of pinned where he's at and he's performing these operations. Well, it's like, okay, does he do anything else? He's got his minions. How does he control them?
Mhm.
It just didn't come together well enough. The concept is great,
Yeah.
but with Leatherface, I think this is a great version of Leatherface.
Mhm.
This is like a good cross between 1 and 2,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Mhm.
Because you do have the childlike, you got a little bit of comedic, just a little bit, but
Yeah.
you also got the serious part of it
Mhm.
too, which we saw Gunner do so well in the OG. So this Leatherface, and you said MTV Leatherface, that is perfect because especially with some of the rock music and just
Mhm.
the chainsaws going and they created this saw for him that's so badass and truly metal. So I think this is a great version of Leatherface, and I have no idea why they chose to kind of backpedal in the
Yeah.
next film. Like that
Mhm.
was just kind of crazy. Don't backpedal like that. This was a really good version of the character, but
There was so much to him in this one. Like I said, they kept the childlike stuff. One of my favorite scenes, like I probably would have picked it, if it wasn't for the scene I picked in House. I just love the scene when he's doing the speak and spell. I mean, he's doing his
yeah,
homework.
yeah,
It shows he's childlike. It shows his frustration, but he's not. He doesn't have the mind of a child, but he is just
hmm
kind of slow. But it also shows how you can. So it's weird saying you can associate with him because people have those problems. Trying to, with learning and stuff. Like he wants to be normal. That's what I
right.
like about him too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's funny because that seems like it would be a throwaway scene.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you just nailed it. It's like it was showing that dimension of him that he does want to be normal,
Because he's getting
you know.
frustrated. The words clown, but
hmm
he just keeps putting food and he doesn't know what he's doing wrong. And that's what
Right.
I like. That's what gives this type of character a little bit of depth and maybe, like you said, a throwaway scene.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that again, I just don't know why they went the way that they went for the next film. You know, it was like, why backpedal and take away all of that? Because in the next film, he was really just kind of just a yelling, screaming lunatic running around, and he didn't have much else to him.
No.
You know, even when he had the different personas, you know, if anything, that was kind of like a negative for his character because he's getting told by Renee Zellweger to sit the fuck down. Which is the best scene ever. Okay. It truly is. Real quick, let's see what we got going on in the chat. Let's see. Neil saying, I think I remember at some point Rob Zombie saying the cut footage from House was lost. So I doubt we'll ever get a director's cut, unfortunately. Yes. Yeah. I agree. Yep. Let's see. Russell is going with Leatherface. Scott is going with Leatherface. Brandon saying, yeah, Leatherface is my choice. Dr. Satan had a cool look, but he didn't really do anything when we finally meet him. Yeah. Yep. Troy said Leatherface basically because it's Leatherface. All right. Russell's going with Dr. Satan. Wow. Okay. Rick saying I like House of a Thousand better as a movie, but I got to go with Leatherface. Okay. We got Neil saying I got to go with my boy Leatherface. All right. You might want to help out your boy a little bit here. That's pretty cool. Chris saying it's Leatherface for me, definitely my favorite. Okay. Ginger Ninja saying Leatherface, Dr. Satan is cool and the story behind is good, but Leatherface has the saw, and the saw is family. Oh man, that's great. Good call, man. That was always a good tagline, man. When I first heard that, and they were like, the saw is family. I was just like, wow, who came up with that? That was just a great little way to, you know, have an accent for the film. And of course, the saw itself. Let's see who else we got. I think I'm caught up to you guys. Let's see. Scott saying they should have kept it in the film. Troy saying they built up Dr. Satan like some sort of final boss, and he did not come off that way at all. Yeah, I agree. I think that might have been, you know, even with the odd tonal shifts in the film, if they could have at least had Dr. Satan be a little bit more imposing, I think that would have saved it for me personally. What about you, Eric?
Oh yeah, because Troy said it perfectly. It's all the build up, and then we see it, and he's doing surgery on Chris Hardwick, and that's it.
Yeah,
you know, he's not even telling the minions to go get her. He doesn't do anything. He just looks at her and then gets back to work. That's it.
Right. Yep. Agreed. Okay. All right. We're almost there, guys. Almost to our Hollywood guy says Leatherface is cooler. All right. Very cool. All right. Next category, Eric. We're going to be talking about the trailer for these two films. The trailer for House of a Thousand Corpses. It plays pretty much like most trailers do, showing a couple different scenes. It does show annoying Chris Hardwick, Dr. Satan. But it also shows some really cool scenes with Captain Spaulding.
Yep.
So it's pretty cool. Also with, you know, music, obviously being a Rob Zombie film. TCM3 decided to do something that I don't know if I've ever seen a horror movie do. TCM3, you got Leatherface chilling out by the edge of a lake, and that voiceover saying, some legends are made and told and forgotten, but some are forever. And the chainsaw comes out of the lake with the lady of the lake throwing the chainsaw at Leatherface, and a lightning bolt hits the chainsaw, and he turns around to the front, and it just says Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. It's crazy. It's a crazy trailer. Kind of over the top. Some people are fans of it, some aren't. Eric, who gets the point for the better trailer?
Oh, dude, it's Leatherface, hands down. Nothing against the House trailer. You know, you get what you need. You know, you get the characters, you get the vibe. But I love how this Leatherface trailer has nothing to do with the fucking movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
You
Right.
have that King Arthur stuff. He raises it. The lightning hits it like he's freaking He-Man. You know what I mean? He turns around and the freeze frame is he's gonna chase you. It's perfect. You know, it's Kane Hodder under that in that suit. If you don't know for the trailer,
Yep.
it's so much fun, and it's only like 30 seconds long, maybe
Yeah.
a minute. So it's perfect, and it sets the MTV Leatherface tone for me. I mean, you know what you're getting into. This isn't Toby Hooper's Leatherface. So
Right. Right. Good point. Good point. Coriander, how about you?
Yeah, you have to give it to Leatherface. I mean, it's it's a good one, you know. And like Eric said, it doesn't give anything away, and
Right.
that's what I love about trailers. You know,
Mhm.
you get nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that Saw, I mean, it's a nice Saw. It's like one of the it's a badass Saw out of this whole franchise. This is the best Saw. So yeah.
Good point. Good point.
Yep.
Well said. Yeah, man. This is well, this might also be one of the easiest categories. Well, first time I saw the trailer for this, I had no idea what it was, because it's kind of, Leatherface is so far, in the background, and the camera's zooming in, and you got this beautiful, serene music, and I just thought it was a dude looking in the lake. You got this music, ding, 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 and then the voiceover starts talking. You still have no idea that it's Leatherface, but as soon as the saw comes up out of the lake, I remember as a kid, I was, whoa, is it what? And man, it's just the coolest thing ever. I don't know if there's ever been a cooler trailer for a horror film, at least with the big franchises. So I got to go with Leatherface on that one. Scott saying they should have kept the whole Excalibur idea in the movie. I agree. And you guys, yeah, you guys were talking about the trailer right before we got to the category. The trailer is gold, better than the movie. There you go. All right. Let's see. Paul is going with House of a Thousand Corpses, though. She's holding the torch. Russell going with Leatherface. Mr. Rick is going also for Leatherface. Chris saying the TCM 3 trailer, hands down. It stuck with me since I was a kid. Julie saying, I don't think I've watched either trailer. Julie, you should check them out. Yeah, check them out. I really do think so. Neil saying, so that's how the Saw started up. One first pull after 50 years in the Netflix film. It was the lightning from the TCM trailer.
Right. Like I said, like He-Man.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Brandon saying, imagine if Leatherface had the chainsaw hand like Ash. There you go.
Yeah. I was thinking Ash myself.
There you go. Quentin's going with TCM. All right. That's too funny. Paula said, how is a Saw family? Eric, do you want to answer that?
Watch the movie and find out.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point. Okay, let's go to our next category. We're almost at the end there. Next category is the finale. The finale. So, of course, with these two films, and it could be up to 15 minutes for a finale in these films. So, you basically have, I think with TCM, we got to go with when Benny, saves Michelle, and then the chase, and then Benny fights Tex, and then obviously to the end. And of course, with House of a Thousand Corpses is when Michelle and Chris Hardwick go down underground to see Dr. Satan. What do you think, Eric? Who gets the point?
I'm gonna go with TCM. And I think it's as good as the House of a Thousand Corpses finale is. It's still a little too all over the place. We have these water zombies, which you put two and two together, they are Dr. Satan's experiments, but it's the disappointment I get with Dr. Satan. I like you find out that Sid or Spaulding is involved with the family, but I didn't like the fact that we didn't get a final girl. I didn't like that she didn't survive after everything she's been through. Even though there's no freaking way Benny would have survived. and he shows up at the end.
Right.
I still like it. I still like how Kate Hodge she gets the final lick in, with the shotgun and takes out the gas station attendant. A call back to how he was harassing her
Yeah.
in the first
I know. He
part
earned
of
it.
it. And you know what? It's a cliche, but I love as they drive away, she gives her one liner, and you hear that little clink of the leg brace, and it's
Mhm.
just a great shot of you just see his legs and then that chainsaw. And
Mhm.
I just love the finale for Leatherface.
All right. Coriander, how about you?
I think I'm gonna go with House of a Thousand Corpses
Okay.
because it's, you know, I want to know what happened to, Denise and
Mhm.
her character, and you think she makes it, but lo and behold, another story. And
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I kind of, yeah, I mean, that's when you really got to finally see Dr. Satan. And, if he gets his hands on you and you are on his table, you're
Right.
screwed because look at,
Mhm.
like you all say, the little minions that he makes. And
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
man, you'd be a slave to that man. No, thank you.
Right. And I
Um,
will
yeah.
say it was kind of chilling though, because all you see is that up close of her yelling and that scream, and then she's
Mm-hmm.
looking around, and then it just kind of cuts, and I was just like, what?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of got me.
I do like the end with the question mark title cards. So that's like a throwback to like those monster movies from like the 40s and 50s that Rob loves a lot. So I'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, good point. Good point. For me, it's tough, man, because I think these finales they're close on paper.
Mm-hmm.
On paper, okay? But again, I just think that House's finale was so stunted. And I know there was editing and all that stuff behind the scenes, but there was stuff like that for TCM3 as well. And I just think the promise of what it could have been and ultimately wasn't is what makes me want to pick TCM3. Because with TCM3, we got Ken Faree who's going Rambo on
Mm-hmm.
the family, on the Sawyer family. And you got Kate Hodge who escapes and she's going nutty and it's finally like, let's go, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You got a fight in the swamp, which was cool. And then the ultimate payback, at the end with the shotgun. That
Yep.
was so satisfying. That was fantastic. So I'm gonna go with TCM for the finale. Okay, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Russell is going with House of a Thousand Corpses for the finale. Um, Scott, that was good. He said, "By the power of Sawyer." That was good. Oh, He-Man.
That's
Paula
right.
is going with House of a Thousand Corpses. All right. Chris is going with TCM3 for the win for the finale. Let's see. Brandon saying, "I love a good out there wild finale, but House was overwhelming when it leaves you similar to the OG TCM." Okay. Rick's going with House of a Thousand Corpses. And hey, we got Polar in the house. What's going
You're
on, Polar?
welcome.
Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. She says, "Who's winning?" Well, it's kind of tight. We're gonna see, but hold on. We got a super chat coming in, Neil.
Oh, he's
This
back.
this this could be the swing. $20 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Saying, "I didn't realize a Leatherface rematch was on the line. Gotta give my boy some points for Leatherface. He's going with Leatherface. 20,
Wow.
20 points.
Cats have
Wow.
spoken.
Wow. The Cats have made a stand.
Good for
There
you,
we
Neil.
go. Awesome
Oh,
stuff, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. Seriously, though, Neil, we appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah.
Very, very cool. Okay, so let's do a clip and
Uh-oh.
see what goes on. Sometimes you just got to be careful whose way you're in, Eric, or something bad could happen like it happened to this person.
Heavy, heavy, heavy.
there, there it is. Watch out for those kids. Watch out. Okay.
I knew what was coming and it didn't help.
You did know. That's right.
Yeah.
Neil, thank you so much, man. We appreciate you. Scott's like, way to go. There you go. There you go. Very, very cool. We got Ice Mike in the chat going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay. Scott is going with Leatherface for the finale. All right. Let's see. Brandon saying plus the close-up of Denise's eyes and How's final shot was reminiscent of Sally's eyes shot in TCM. Absolutely. No doubt about that. Yep. Troy saying we can only judge what made it to the screen. Studio meddling is irrelevant. Have to go at TCM. Absolutely. Yeah, we can only judge the movies by what they are. Ginger Ninja is going with Leatherface. And he is saying we got 37 likes. Come on, let's get to 40. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much. If you haven't hit the like button, please do. It helps to support the channel and helps us continue doing this series every single week, having 2 movies that we're talking about. Okay, next up, our final category is choose. This is our final category. And as always, we've been making sure we remind people, if you are looking to do a super chat to put points to a favorite film, this is the time to do it. Once we finish this category, we can't count it. So this is the final category and time to go for it. So Eric, between these 2 films, you got to give a point to one. Who do you give the point to? Who do you choose?
I love them both for many different reasons, but I'm going to go with Leatherface. If we're not counting the remake and its prequel, this is my favorite entry in the franchise. You know, I guess if we're going to say the original air quotes timeline, so much fun from beginning to end. And like I said, as fun as Spalding is and some of the Firefly family, I love this family a lot more because of that loving air quotes, psychotic demeanor that they have. It's just so much fun for me.
All right. Okay. Coriander, how about you? Who gets the point?
I am gonna go with Rob Zombie.
Okay.
I've always been a fan of his music. And when I heard that, oh my God, he's directing a movie, and I actually, I don't mind the chaos. I don't mind that there's 3 different tales in this. The fact that the tone's everywhere, that doesn't really bother me either. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. All right. For me, this is challenging because I think both of these movies have a lot of good things going on, and it's funny because growing up, TCM3 wasn't big on my radar. I kind of, within the last several years, kind of reacquainted myself with it, and it's controversial in a way because a lot of people have some issues with it. And I remember when we were talking about the franchise on the old channel, and we had talked about TCM3, and I was like, man, this movie's actually got a lot of great stuff in it, and it really does. House of a Thousand Corpses definitely has so many fantastic character actors and moments, and it's hard to kind of pick against them. So I gotta, by a small margin, I gotta go with House of a Thousand Corpses, and it's really the strength of Sid, and just some of the other character actors, their moments. Walter Goggins, I always love him, and it is chaotic, but I do like the vibe, and I kind of get what Rob was going for. It did feel kind of like an old school movie, even though it was very modern. So I'm going to just barely edge it out to House. Okay. We got Troy coming in right at the end.
You were still
All right,
talking
man.
when he did it, so I would accept it.
Yes. So we've got a $10 super chat saying to choose. To be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of either, but I'm going House. TCM3 was the first red flag that showed how quickly the franchise could go off a cliff. The only one I like after 2 is the beginning. Ooh,
Wow.
okay. Wow. So that actually, so we got 10 points to House of a Thousand Corpses. Ooh, this is going to be close, bro. This is going to be super close. And we've got a title shot on the line. We got Van in the chat. Welcome to the chat, man. Hope you're doing well.
Welcome.
Strangely a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses and the following sequels. The movies are all over the place, but the characters are great. Yeah, I definitely I agree with that. You know,
Right?
We've got Nightfall in the chat as well. Hope you're doing well. Going with House of a Thousand Corpses. Ginger Ninja going with House of a Thousand Corpses. All right. Russell going with the Sawyer family. Okay. All right, guys. So we have to tally this thing up. So let's do a recap. This is going to be tight here, guys. So you're going to have to give me a minute. I can already tell this is going to be a really tight call. So I want to make sure I count this accurately. So Eric, we'll have you go first, and then Coriander. Just a recap for tonight, and even maybe a projection of what's to come and stuff like that, guys.
I'm glad we gave the okay for this one, because I'm a huge Rob Zombie fan when it comes to his movies. You know, a lot of people, I've said it before, a lot of people I think take their hatred or dislike for his Halloween movies and they kind of use it and don't look at his other films too clearly, if that makes any sense. I think there isn't a Rob Zombie movie that I don't like other than maybe Lords of Salem. And I think House is still one of his best. You know, he started out really strong with these great, insane characters and perfect casting overall, even though he could have toned down Baby and gotten rid of Grandpa. But you could tell, you know, he came from the world of music and music videos because of the way it's edited. And he does a good job of kind of homaging TCM, but still making it its own. And like I've already said, this is one of my favorite Leatherface movies, TCM movies, because it's just so much fun. I love the characters. I love Viggo Mortensen. I love Tinker. You know what I mean? This is one of my favorite Leatherfaces with the look. You know, Ken Foree always makes things better. It's just a lot of fun. One of my favorite endings. And again, for the people in the chat who have not seen the trailer to Leatherface TCM3, you have to. It's literally 60 seconds of your time, and it's so much fun. Even if you've seen the movie and you don't like the movie, but you haven't seen the trailer, give it a shot, and it's just a lot of fun. So I enjoy both of these movies, and I'm glad that if House of a Thousand Corpses wins, we don't know, I think that might open up the Firefly family to return, because if it wasn't for House, we wouldn't have gotten Devil's Rejects, which is one of my favorite movies of all time, not just horror movies.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Coriander, any final thoughts for you?
No. If I don't have to give any, you go right ahead.
Okay, real quick in the chat, just to catch up to these guys, we got some other folks coming in. Scott Haynes is in, going with House of a Thousand Corpses. We got Van in the chat. Is this a dedicated show to horror movies? Well, Battle World, we basically take two movies and we match them up. Last week, they were not horror movies. We were talking about Gravity and The Martian.
Next
so it really
week
just
won't be either.
depends. But most of what we do is horror based, but we love movies in general. And I'm a huge fan of action and horror and so forth. So, and well, thank you, Ginger Ninja, saying not always horror. That's right. Last week, I know it was crazy, wasn't it? That was a fun one. Let's see who else. We got Kenny in the chat. What's going on, Kenny? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And thank you too, Sarah. Yeah. Sometimes we do some stuff that's not horror. And thank you, Van. Yeah, this is a great community. Absolutely.
It is.
Thank you for being here. Okay, guys. So we tallied this thing up. This was close, bro. This was close. Now, here's the thing. We had some super chats that came in, and they actually evened each other out because they were both 30 points. So when Troy came in at the end, that definitely made a difference. So by a score in total of 46 to 56, the winner for tonight for Battle World is Leatherface. Pulled it out.
Wow.
Certainly did.
He pulled it out. The Saw is family. And guess what that
That
means?
is a comeback
The
from the last
comeback
time he
king.
was here.
Hey, this is bigger than Corey Feldman, the comeback king.
Oh God, don't start.
Hey, let me just say for you guys that are newer to Battle World, that means that Leatherface, the TCM franchise, gets a match, a title match. And Kill's not here tonight. So Eric, who's the champ? Who's the champ, Eric?
I'll say with pride, Stephen Edwin King.
By way of Miss Carrietta White.
That's right.
All right. Who would have thought? This is crazy, man. So Leatherface has been battling on this series for a long time. He's battled Ghostface, he's battled Michael. I mean, like he's been taking his lumps.
And then he lost to both Freddie and Jason a couple weeks ago. So
Yes. So wow. Holy moly, this is crazy. And of course, Neil saying, who won last week? Neil, you gotta check out the episode, man. It was fun though, man. It was a lot of fun. It was different. It was, and it's nice to do some different stuff. I'm glad we did that.
Same here.
Denisha is in the chat. What's going on, Denisha? Hope you're doing better. All right.
Yeah.
Kenny saying, I threw my back out last week. Oh, wow. Hope you're doing all right, man.
Yeah.
You're feeling better.
That's kind of great.
Yeah. And hey, we got Sarah gifting a membership. Oh, that's really kind of you, Sarah. Thank you so much. Seriously. So we've got another member of the channel members, the watchers. Looks like it was gifted to Scott Lauderdale is back in the fold. All right. Very, very cool. Thank you so much, Sarah. We appreciate that. And she's gifting another membership, guys. This is crazy. Oh, man. Thank you so much, Sarah. She's so kind. And this one is going to David Green. David Green is back in the fold. Very cool.
Nice.
Sarah, thank you so much for doing that. You're always supporting this channel and this community, trying to help this community grow. Without that type of support, we wouldn't be able to do all the things that we do, streaming multiple times every single week, setting aside our schedules every single week, different time zones. Eric's in a different time zone, but we try to make it happen every week for you guys. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. It really makes a difference because as many content creators know, YouTube does not make it easy for a channel to be successful. Thank you so much. Seriously, much love to the queen. Ginger Ninja saying we're at 41 likes. That's awesome, man.
Oh, that is.
That's so cool to see for a Battle World episode, especially for tonight. We were wondering how it was going to go. Yeah. Scott Haynes saying this is great, awesome channel. Thank you so much, Scott. We appreciate that, and hope to see you in our next live stream, which will be this Friday night, the Watchers Live. It's going to be a blast. By the way, for all of you guys, if you haven't, check out the front page. We usually have our live streams up in advance. Hit the like button on those. Also, today I had put out a video on Immaculate, which we just saw, and fantastic video in my opinion, talking about this new movie that a lot of people are talking about. So if you could check that out, that'd be great. Julie or Sarah, if you could put the link in the chat for my video today. And if you guys haven't watched it, come on. Thank you so much. Neil saying, damn, next thing you know, Red Eye will come back from being a B movie. There you go. I love it. Ginger Ninja saying, and Leatherface wins, respect the Saw. Yes. Scott also saying, Leatherface for the win. The Saw is family. Yes. Let's see. Scott said, put him against the OG Halloween. We've been, I do think that is on the list, having an instance of the OG TCM against Halloween, if it can come up. And speaking of Scott, he also gifted a membership. Hey, thank you so much, man.
Awesome.
Seriously, thank you. We appreciate it. Seriously, the support from you guys in the community is amazing. And it looks like it's going to Dark Crisis Gaming, who got gifted a membership and is now part of the inner circle. We do exclusive members only live streams, watch parties multiple times a month where we get to hang out with you guys exclusively. Thank you so much, Scott. We appreciate you. Sarah, still working hard, has the link in the chat. Very cool. Also for our Patreon. We appreciate that, Sarah. Seriously. All right. Van's happy with the chat and the discussions. We appreciate you, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Scott also gifted another membership.
Damn.
All right.
Awesome.
And it looks like it went to Melissa. Melissa is back in the fold again. Awesome. Thank you so much, Scott. Seriously. We appreciate you, brother. And Melissa giving thanks. Very cool. Yeah, definitely give a thanks and shout out to Scott. Very, very cool. Troy coming in with a super chat saying, I need the cream. There you go. Who would have thought this would have become a popular one? All right, Troy, here we go. You know what we got to do.
But the cream. Yeah, let me say it. Yeah, let me say it out loud. Yeah, you mean Gene Okerlund. You know that I'm the cream. I am the cream, yeah.
One of the best.
He was one of the best. Love Macho Man. Love Macho Man. And Scott saying, you're welcome, guys. Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Seriously. Very, very kind. Kenny saying Sarah's a sweetheart. Absolutely. All of you guys are just seriously. You guys are just really kind. And like we always say, you guys are why we're able to do this. So just remember, all of you guys make a huge difference no matter what you do, whether you watch our content, you hang out with us in live streams, you give a like, you share the videos. It just all really helps.
Yep.
Van saying YouTube makes it really hard. I used to make content and it was tough. It is very tough, Van.
Yeah.
It really is. No doubt. No doubt at all. So much respect to any people that do it or have done it, because I know what kind of sacrifice it takes to do it. So very cool. And thank you, Sarah. We got the link up for the Immaculate review. It's a short little video giving just some thoughts. We saw it the other day, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So please check that out, guys. That would really mean a lot to me. And Russell's coming in with a $2 super chat saying, he said, who saw that coming? There you go. That was good, buddy. I like that. That was awesome. Kenny saying we need a Jeepers Creepers 2 battle. Well, we might have one. We might have one. Yeah. Yep. And Sarah's got the link in for our Friday night stream coming up. We can't wait to do that. We're going to be talking about the 2010s. The 2010s doing our elimination chamber. So it's going to be really cool. Everyone with the panel. We always have a blast and a lot of laughs. Polar also putting it up there. Thank you so much, Polar. We appreciate both of you guys helping out. She's saying, Sarah, you're so fast, right? She is. She is. And thank you, Polar, saying, please remember to like and subscribe. Van saying, check and check. You guys are all right. So tonight, Leatherface wins. He gets the title shot. Can he jump to the realm of the legends like Jason and Michael and now Stephen King? Who knows? We'll find out in the next episode of Battle World. You guys, thank you for being here. Honestly, this makes it so much fun, and we will catch you guys next time. As always, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, you are the Night Watch. Peace out, guys.
Cheers.
Church.
And don't forget that the Saw is family. Have a good night, guys. Later.
Very down, just get in bed.